Hello peoples, one and all, this is Arinthian here, and welcome back to Roleplay Radio. I'm here with Mr. Duck. There he is. Good old quack to get things started off with. Now, where we last left off, would you mind refreshing our memories, Mr. Duck, as to where you were and what you were doing? As the wonderful Fred.
Basically, for some reason, as Fred, I was laying on my stomach, kind of doing an army prone thing, next to a staircase that Syrup Man and a bunch of Russian guards previously rolled down in a blanket, or in a carpet. And, yeah. Also, since I'm too lazy to edit this video most likely, if I say anything too offensive, I apologize from the bottom of my stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to throw up an apology at you. Anyway, I'm going to have to make that a part of my intro from here on out, something about it being offensive. But you never know, because we are in Russia right now, and anything can happen. Because if memory serves, last time you accidentally teleported into the modern-day Russia, I can't even remember why you were trying to get there. I think it had to do something with the pancake.
Yeah, the
elder pancake.
Yeah, the elder pancake recipe. I'm trying to find it because this guy Donovan Yankovic or something like that, Yankovic, wanted to he died and left the recipe somewhere hidden, and I'm basically gonna do an Indiana Jones thing to find it.
Okay, so.
Raiders of the Lost...
Pretty much what we came up with.
Raiders of the Lost Pancake.
That's pretty much what we are, yes. So, you were searching for this legendary Elder Pancake and managed to find out, through the power of breaking the fourth wall, that it indeed was somewhere in Russia, or at least the blueprints for making the Elder Pancake work, right?
or rather a clue to find the blueprints of finding the recipe for potentially maybe finding the Elder Pancake itself.
Because you're Raiders of the Lost Uncharted Pancake.
Yes. And this is gonna be a long adventure.
A very long, painful adventure. Anyway, so you manage to crawl your way back into the main room, and you see a bunch of Russian guards wrapped up in this massive red carpet with Syrup Man, who's looking just as unimpressed as ever, and they look like they're pretty much a giant human Fruit Loop.
I'm gonna go ahead and get up and walk over and say, "Hey, Syrup Man, you having fun there?"
Not really. You can just barely hear his mumbling over the sound of the guards yelling in Russian. So it's very obvious that nothing good is going to happen if you stick around here for too long.
The pun. So Syrup Man, is it, possible for you to unstick yourself?
If I wanted to.
Well, do you want to?
Not really.
What would, fuck. Okay. What would make you want to unstick yourself?
Well, I'd need a pancake.
Okay,
Pancake's motivating.
Alright, so remember how we're trying to find the Elder Pancake, right?
Mm-hmm.
That should be enough of motivation to unstick yourself so we can go on this adventure to find the Elder Pancake.
Wait a minute. I thought you said, because I'm going to break the fourth wall here real quick because I'm Syrup Man. I thought you said that we were going on an adventure to find at the first clue of a hint of maybe possibly one of the directions that we have to go in order to find the ingredients for the Elder Pancake. Maybe. That's a lot of maybes to get a pancake, so I'm just going to sit here.
Fred is going to go ahead and pick up the entire, what is it?
The carpet that I rolled up in?
Yeah, the carpet, and just bring everybody with me.
You are now dragging 3 Russian guards with you along with Syrup Man. It's a bit strenuous, but somehow, for no apparent reason, you managed to get all the way out of the Kremlin without drawing too much attention to yourself.
I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and make a call to the doctor.
Okay, on what?
The fourth wall phone.
Okay, is that like the bat phone for Fred?
Yes.
The name Fred isn't Alfred, so who knows? Oh, maybe there's some correlation there. Anyway, so there's a lot of typing going on.
Yes.
Very audible typing. That's going to be really good in a recording. Alright, so you managed to pull the fourth wall phone out of a hole in existence and ring up the doctor. It doesn't appear that he's at home at the moment, or at least not around the phone, as it seems that he's not picking up. So possibly he's working on something.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna.
And here's where we see Mr. Duck's problem-solving skills.
If Serpentman is truly important, he'll come along eventually. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave him there, and go and find Jan's house or Donovan's house.
All right. So, in what direction is it? So you managed to lay the carpet down with Syrup Man looking very apathetic, and all three of the Russian guards looking very indignant, laying outside the front of the Kremlin. And you take a glance around on the streets. It's very snowy. It appears that you arrived sometime around the fall season there, which I know absolutely nothing about Russia, and I'm not going to act like I do, so I'm just going to say it's a snowy Russian day.
Okay.
Just to be that stereotypical. And it's a lightly iced street with a bunch of small little cottage villa-type towns and streets running past.
I'm just gonna walk around and look for a mansion-like house, because I assume that's where Donovan would have lived.
Of course, because if anybody lives anywhere, it's got to be in a big mansion.
Yes.
So you take a wander down the various streets and alleyways, trip over a few stray cats, and kick a few homeless people that are in your way, as Fred probably would.
Exactly. Yes.
And you manage to find yourself wandering down an alley with more and more dumpsters as you go along, and end up hopelessly lost directly in the middle of what I believe is, well, we'll just say it's Moscow.
Okay, that makes sense, because everywhere in Russia is Moscow.
I'm going to quote you on that. Everywhere in Russia is Moscow. So you find yourself on a busy street corner with a few cars going past in a roundabout circle around a large fountain that's iced over with a bunch of market stalls that aren't very populated for obvious reasons because it's cold as hell out. It is Russia after all.
Okay, so the streets aren't really populated.
Not by people. There are a bunch of cars driving past, but other than that, there's not much.
Alright, so what do the houses look like?
These are mainly houses that look like they were built way back when that have kind of been updated to modern times. And by updated to modern times, I mean rolled over with a fresh coat of paint about 10 years ago. So they're not in very good shape, but they're still standing, and they're durable as hell. You can tell just by looking at them. They've been through Russia. Anything that survives in Russia longer than a winter has got to be pretty tough, I would assume.
I'm going to go ahead and...
So old-timey little cottage-like houses that appear to be at least 2 stories tall each.
2 stories tall each. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and wave down one of the cars.
Okay. So you wave your arms out toward the cars going around the roundabout, and it doesn't appear that many of them seem intent on stopping. However, one of the passers-by notices you and says something in Russian, questioningly.
Do you speak English?
He looks at you, frowns, and looks around, then takes a look at you up and down and realizes you're probably not from around there based on the ascot that you're wearing. Or any other place outside of the 80s, I would assume.
English! Wait a minute,
The Russian man looks you up and down as he readjusts his coat and then motions for you to follow him in a certain direction.
I do so. I do that.
It appears that very thankfully you were close to a U.S. embassy that was nearby in Russia. So he manages to guide you there and points you toward the sign, which very clearly says that that is a U.S. foreign zone. So there should be people that speak English inside.
I'm going to go ahead and put my hand on the Russian guy's shoulder and say, "Thank you."
He appears to get what you mean as he takes a look at your hand a little bit questioningly, but smiles with what few teeth he has and nods and then walks off in the other direction.
Okay, and I'll just go into the U.S. Embassy.
You approach the guards at the front, and they motion for you to step closer and inspect you. And as they do so, they start to begin questioning what they're seeing, as they still see you, Fred, in decked out in completely all the gear that he is, which includes a chainsaw, an ascot,
Well, actually,
various other gear.
Actually, the chainsaw's in my magic satchel.
That's right. So they see, we made a belt buckle, didn't we?
Yes, it's a belt buckle.
Okay, so they question what your appearance is, because you are wearing the ascot still, correctly?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So here's this wonderful shirtless man in all of his Fredness in the middle of Russia in the winter.
Well, remember, I actually stole a hoodie, an Asian hoodie that says "Run fast, penis."
Run fast, penis. That's right. So thankfully they don't know what your hoodie says.
So the ascot is like underneath my hoodie and stuff. So you don't.
We're going to say for just affinity's sake that it's going to be sticking out of the collar of your hoodie just enough to make it look fabulous.
Okay.
Somehow you make a hoodie look fabulous with an ascot because you're Fred.
Yes.
So they question your appearance somewhat, looking at this man with glowing golden hair and an ascot poking out of his hoodie and something in it in Chinese, for what they can tell. They look a little bit questioned, ask to see your passport.
I'm a Fred, so I don't need one. Fuck you, that's why.
Do you tell them this?
Yes.
All right. So let's see if you manage to persuade them or not. Okay, you just rolled... okay, you got a 7 on that. So they look at you questioningly and shake their heads, a few of them speaking, since these are still some Russians outside guarding the place, since it isn't Russia after all. One of them looks at you. No, you see, passport. You must have passport to get in. You must prove that you are U.S. citizen.
Or I can just light you all on fire.
They glance in between each other worriedly, and one of them pops open the little safety strap on his pistol holster. You what?
Now, all I really need from you is just the location of Donovan Yankovic's house, because I want to pay my respects and shit.
Was either one in the paper? One of them asks his friend. I believe so. It's down that way. Look for Zarnoff Street. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Look for Zarnoff Street and take a right where the dumpster used to be.
Okay. Thank you.
Somehow.
Thank you, mildly attractive Russian man.
Yes, I am told that a lot. I am very helpful and very mildly attractive. Thank you.
I twirl his mustache.
His friend looks on very questioningly, but for some reason the other guard does not seem to mind this whatsoever. You're starting to question him.
Okay.
However, he gave you the directions.
And I do that. I go there.
Okay, so somehow through possibly ESP or some other variety of knowledge, you manage to take the right on Zarnoff Street and then turn right where the old dumpster used to be, because somehow you know that through the power of Fred. And you end up on this rinky-dink looking old shack that used to look like it'd be a shop once. Maybe. It's in such a state of disrepair with old blue boards peeling up from the ground that its loosely boarded up windows with no glass aren't making it seem very attractive.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna knock on the door.
You knock on the door. It falls into the room.
Okay.
It appears this place is very well kept.
All right. I'm just gonna walk around, not stealthily at all, because I don't give a shit, and I'm gonna start looking through drawers and stuff, and eventually make my way over to his bedroom.
Okay. So you managed to find what looks like it could have been a bedroom once, except for the fact there are no windows, and, well, save for the 2 windows downstairs, there are only 3 in the entire place. All the boards are creaking under your feet, and it appears that every single inch of this place is just about ready to fall apart and give up, as if it's seen too many pancakes in its lifetime.
Yes.
You can tell by the way the walls are. Yeah, they've seen some pancake shit. So you walk into what used to be the bedroom, from what you can tell.
Yes.
It's a very, very dimly lit room, but you take a look around anyway. Who knows what you might find in here? What do you decide to do?
All right. So, is there a bed?
There's no bed. It seems that whatever furniture that was in this place had been cleaned out a long time ago. There's nothing left but cobwebs of spiders long since dead from the cold, and a few broken boards and bits of glass.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and look around on the floor to see if there are any, removable boards that I can, remove.
From what you can tell, you look at the floor. It seems that all of these wooden boards placed on the support beams below are so loosely put together that you can see the dirt in the ground below them, just save for an inch of which is still above the dirt level. So you can see clearly through to the ground below between all of these boards. They're not hiding much, let's put it that way.
Alright.
All of them seem like they're about to fall apart, too.
Alright, so in my magic satchel, do I have a sledgehammer?
You have a rocket-powered sledgehammer with spikes on the end.
Ooh. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and break the wall with my rocket-powered sledgehammer.
You go crashing through the wall at about Mach 2, straight into the bedroom of what appears to be an elderly old Russian lady. Let's put it this way. When they were building these houses, they didn't really think of putting them in big walls in between them. Pretty much the walls are just another layer of boards. The other side just happens to be wallpapered and belong to an old lady. So you see an old toothless Russian lady sit up straight in her bed. She appears to be taking a nap, screaming at the top of her lungs, and then grabs an AK-47 out from underneath the pillow that she was hiding under. Way to go, Mr. Duck. You scared an old Russian woman.
Yeah, I'm gonna take out a tranquilizer gun and shoot her a bunch of times with it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, wow, I did not know that my dice application could do that. You... Oh my god. Okay, you roll a 5.
Fuck luck.
Okay, at this moment in time, luck appears to turn on its head, and you see a large hand materialize from the heavens and shoot the old lady with a very large tranquilizer dart that is about the size of a fire hydrant. This lands directly in her forehead. Thankfully, somehow not killing her. Maybe, you're not entirely sure, but you're a bit too scared of what just happened to check. And she's now pinned to the wall with a giant tranquilizer dart.
I'm gonna go ahead and walk over to the tranquilizer dart and remove it, and hopefully she's just knocked unconscious. If she's not,
It appears that the tranquilizer dart, tranquilizer in quotes, was apparently just a giant prop gag, as all it did was end up knocking her out. There was actually nothing inside of it. It was just a large prop that looked like a tranquilizer dart. Congratulations.
Yes. Okay, so, I'm going to go ahead and go in her room to see if there are anything hidden in her... I'm going to go in her house to see if there's anything hidden in her house that could potentially help me find the Elder Pancake recipe.
Alright. It appears the same layout of this house remains the same, which is one small bedroom off to the side, the kitchen, and a very large living room with an upstairs that appears to be used as both an attic or a spare bedroom.
Oh!
So what do you manage to search?
Oh, first, I'm going to take her AK-47 because I want that.
Okay. Manage to stick that in your magic satchel?
Yep, and then I'm gonna continue looking. First, I presume that a pancake or I'm going to go ahead and pick up the old lady and place her down on the floor where she can't get hurt, and I'm gonna put a pillow underneath her head, and then I'm going to flip over her mattress to see if there's anything.
You find about 120 mags of AK-47 ammo, but other than that, there's nothing there.
I go ahead and grab those.
They're useful. Alright, so you managed to fill your magic satchel with those.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and now chainsaw her bed and look through all of her stuffing to see if I can find anything.
It appears that her entire bed was stuffed with AK-47 magazines, so the act of you chainsawing through them has set a bunch of the bullets off, sending them flying willy-nilly through the air. Apparently this is how Russians are. You managed to get riddled with about 10 of these bullets.
Ow.
It appears... Oh dear. Yeah, it looks like Grandma's not going to be waking up anytime soon either. It looks like the mattress landed on her as it was still going off. From underneath the halfway chainsawed mattress, you see a small pool of red leaking through. Well, good night, Grandma.
Well, she was going to die anyway. So...
Because plot.
So how much damage did I take?
Okay, how much do you have?
192.
Okay, so you managed to take 70 points of damage from that. You got hit by about 7 bullets, each one dealing 10.
Okay. Alright, so let me pull out my calculator because I don't like doing maths. 192 take away 70. Okay.
And here we have Advanced Math with Mr. Duck. This has been Advanced Math with Mr. Duck.
Anybody...
All right.
Anybody willing to listen to...
So how do you manage to proceed?
Hold on. Anybody willing to listen to all of this is just, our heroes.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, our heroes, and also I have a question for them, which is, you sound just about as bored as I do when I get off of work, whoever's listening to this, because my word, only I would listen to this and a few select other people, so... Congratulations. Congratulations on being way too bored for your own good and somehow finding this shit.
Yes. Exactly. All right. So after that little endeavor, I'm gonna go ahead and take the mattress off of the old lady and just look at her.
Okay. It appears that she now looks like red Russian Swiss cheese. An appearance that Russians, just like everyone else, bleed red, but a little bit more than most, being a communist country.
What does she taste like? I'm gonna eat one of her fingers.
Okay, so pulling off a very delicious looking finger that's very gnarled and leathery looking and also very cracked due to the winter skin, you manage to look at this wonderful little knobby piece of human flesh that is now semi-drippy red and very leathery. It broke off pretty easily too when you picked it up.
Yes.
So you just stick the whole thing in your mouth?
Yep.
Okay, congratulations, you've gained the achievement Fingered by Grandma. So, after completely devouring Grandma's finger, and you decide that it tastes a little bit like chicken and a lot like a really very dirty penny, it's not a very good taste. And you can almost feel your stomach telling you how chewy she is, or would have been if you chewed it at all.
Huh.
Congratulations. Fred is cannibalized and grandmother.
Well then. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just leave her there and go back to the other house. And
Let's leave that there. It'll be fine.
It'll all be fine. And I'm just gonna continue I'm gonna look at the other opposite wall.
Okay. So you look at the other wall, which is where the kitchen probably would have been. This seems like it would have been a very good place to hide something pancake related, I would assume.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and, just like look through the drawers and stuff, and yeah, and look for any secret button.
All right.
And look for any secret buttons that there may be.
Okay. You find a bunch of, well, it appears to be stashed away old kitchen utensils and things, namely just a ladle and a spatula, as it seems that anything else that would have been made out of metal was taken away a long time ago. Both of these are wood and rotting away at various places.
I put the spatula. I put the spatula and ladle into my magic satchel.
Okay, we're gonna save those for later.
Yes. Okay.
Because those will be useful.
Yeah, I can give somebody herpes for that.
So after looking through the entire rest of the kitchen, the only other thing you managed to find is a bottle of vodka with only about a quarter of it left in there.
I'm going to go ahead and dump all the vodka out and see if there's anything in there, like a secret thing that I might see. Secret.
Alright. Secretly. Okay, this is off to a good start. So you managed to peer at the very bottom of this vodka bottle that you managed to find in the middle of a Russian kitchen, and you realize exactly what had happened. This was no Russian kitchen. This was a kitchen that once belonged to somebody else. But it did belong to a Yankovic. Just not the one that you were looking for, or the one that you thought lived there. It appears that this vodka was shipped over to the U.S. at some point in time, specifically to California.
Okay.
What could this mean, you wonder? However, the name on the mailbox remained the same. It was Yankovic outside. So you wonder, who could this possibly be that lived here? Because it was very clear that no Russian would have ever left part of a vodka bottle undrunk.
I'm going to go ahead and open up a portal to wherever death is.
To wherever that is?
To wherever death is.
Death?
Death. D-E-A-T-H.
Death.
You remember I met him in the first episode.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So you managed to go through, and you managed to see that Death is, for some reason, sitting on the toilet in Death's house, as he managed to frantically pull his robes up around his waist.
What the hell, man? What are you again? Oh, you.
I have to ask...
Hi.
I have to ask a favor.
I don't think I owe you any, but go ahead.
I need to talk to a dead person.
You need to talk to who?
I need to talk to a dead person. Specifically that grandma over there that I accidentally killed.
I'm not sure that bringing any dead grandmothers back to life is exactly in my job experience. You may actually need to go to Hades for that. I'm just the messenger.
Is it possible for you to ask the dead grandmother about it? Because honestly, I think Hades is kind of a dick, because I sort of met him once and he was kind of a dick. So you seem nicer because, you're cool. You're a cool guy. Kind of, I think.
Hey, I work in HR. Technically, all I do is handle my patients' cases, and I just come and collect their souls. So, I'm a soul collector.
Okay, so do you know...
I have to have...
Alright, so do you know whoever lived here?
Oh, and it's,
He peers past the portal and past you into the house that you're currently in.
Oh, is that the old Yankovic place? Yeah, Al used to live here a little while back. I can't remember exactly what happened to him.
Weird Al?
I don't think I've had to collect it, though.
Weird Al?
What?
Weird Al?
Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic? Yeah, he's the one.
Oh, okay. Alright, So...
Can I go back to taking a shit now?
By the way, how does that work?
Shitting?
Yeah, I mean, like, you're kind of a skeleton.
He pulls up his robe a little closer.
Well, how would you know? Well, technically now you've seen me on the toilet, but I have to take an existential shit every once in a while, okay? Otherwise I get too weepy. I get all empathetic towards the people whose soul I'm collecting. Basically for a spirit like me, taking a shit is like getting all the emotion out of your body, so you can be cold and heartless and haunt people. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay, all right. By the way, okay.
Well, in case you hear the souls of the damned screaming from my toilet, that's why.
Okay. Also, what do you call it? At some point, I may also need to borrow your scythe again, just because.
I would say over my cold dead body, but that's kind of already the way I am, so if you need it, go right ahead.
Okay.
I don't think that I can even stop because you have way too much plot armor.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'll only come and grab it whenever, I need it. So, bye, Death. Take it easy. And have a nice shit.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
The portal closes shut behind you.
Sweet. Okay, so I guess I'm going to California, but first I need to figure out a way to save Syrup Man. Or you know what? I'll just leave him there for now, and then go get him. I'll go get him later once I have a pancake, or maybe he'll feel like unsticking himself or something. I don't know. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a minute. I have an idea. I'm going to open up a portal to Pancake Girl.
To what?
Pancake Girl.
Pancake Girl.
Yes. They're a syrup man, and therefore, in order for him to get unstuck, he needs a pancake, right? So why not have him fuck why not have him fuck a celestial pancake girl?
What the hell? Okay.
He's gonna make her all.
So you managed to.
He's gonna make her all sticky.
Mmm, tasty. Just lick it all up. It's all so good and so sweet. Oh, I disturb myself sometimes. Anyway, so you managed to open a portal, but where it lands is not where you expect. It appears that this fourth wall breaking portal ability that you have is also able to cross over into alternate dimensions. This appears to be a dimension where everybody is made out of pancakes, and everything is made out of pancakes, and everything is pancakes.
I'm good with that.
You see a bunch of pancake people walking around.
Yo, Pancake Girl!
You see a bunch of pancakes turn around and look in your direction. It doesn't appear that really Pancake Girl is the title of any one individual here. I really wonder how you tell male and female pancakes apart. It doesn't appear that you know either.
Which one of you pancakes are female?
A few of them raise their pancakes into the air.
I point to one of them and say, hey, I point to one of them and say, you, come here.
The pancake approaches in the way that you would think a pancake would approach somebody. This is an alternate dimension, so its rules are kind of janky.
I whisper in the pancake's ear and say, I'm kidnapping you. And I push her through the portal into my world.
So now this pancake, this living pancake, now in your world, screams as you imagine a pancake would, seeing a world without pancakes around her.
Alright, come with me. I need you to meet somebody. You're gonna become all sticky. And I grab the pancake and bring her over to wherever Syrup Man is.
As you manage to travel to Syrup Man's last known location, you get some very strange looks from passersby, and some people will start running away and screaming on the streets of Russia. And it appears that this humanoid pancake you have along with you is drawing some attention. And we're going to just gloss right over the fact that somehow this pancake knows English.
Okay.
Or could it be that somehow you are speaking pancake, that we all speak the same language?
Well, I can speak ancient celestial languages, so because I'm a Fred.
Can you speak pancake, motherfucker?
Yes!
Somehow you're speaking pancake. Explain your way out of that one.
I'm Fred, fuck you!
Okay, later, but not right now on recording.
Oh.
Anywho. Oh. So, as you walk down the Russian streets back to Syrup Man's last known location, you now see what appears to be a very strange sight. There are about 20 people all gathered around, more onlookers coming by the second, as more and more people gather around the place where Syrup Man was, and apparently still is. The carpet's still there. It's unrolled a little bit, but very sticky. And people are trying to grab the guards that were stuck to Syrup Man, and pry them away from Syrup Man.
All right.
At this point in time, it doesn't appear that he still wants to get himself unstuck from anything or anyone. And you see that he is now stuck about 6 more people onto this pile. So now it's become a large, syrupy Russian chain of people streaming across the street.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say, all right, guys, I'm going to pull out a flamethrower, by the way, and say, all right, if y'all don't leave, I'm going to go ahead and set you all on fire, so just go ahead and leave, okay? Not use Pancake Girl.
It appears they don't understand what you're saying, as it isn't in Russian, but you see a bunch of the civilians take off as they notice you have not only a flamethrower, but a living pancake standing by your side.
Yes. Okay, so how many more civilians are there?
There are only about 6 people standing around still staring at you. A few of them very small children.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put on my flamethrower, because it's done its job, and say, hey, Syrup Man, I found a pancake. Get on the sex.
He looks up. He squints, looking very perplexed. Is that a living pancake?
Yes.
Where did you get that?
I'm Fred. Don't question it. Fuck you, that's how.
I'm Syrup Man. I'm gonna question it. And I don't want to.
Okay, so, you said you'd unstick yourself for a pancake, so unstick yourself and then let the sex start.
I'm a Syrup Man of my word. All of a sudden, all the syrup on everybody in the surrounding area seems to slither its way back onto Syrup Man's body, and they're all freed from his grasp. They all take off running before he can somehow grab them again, fearing that he's malicious. He walks toward the pancake girl that you have with you, and you see the pancake stand there, trembling for a few moments. Before Syrup Man literally just walks straight up to her, stares her right in the face, and then as if he suddenly passes out, just falls on top of her and just sticks there.
Let the Pornhub music start.
No, this is this is not fake taxi for pancakes and syrup, Alex. Fuck me, Mr. Duck. I mean, there's some editing work for you.
Oh, man. Wait, I actually have to edit this now?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just have to put a little bleep over the name that was not Mr. Duck.
Okay.
That's all you gotta do.
Okay.
Either that or just lower the sound to nothing at that point. I don't know. Right now we're not talking about editing, though. We're talking about syrups and pancake having sex, man. Fake taxi with syrup and pancakes. Anyway, I just said it wasn't that. Damn it, I'm going back on my own words.
Yes, okay.
So as you stand there, you hear muffled screams of what you'd imagine a pancake would scream like, as syrup oozes off of Syrup Man and just completely engulfs this female pancake. You're wondering if you should look away or not. Russians nearby are stopping on the street corners and taking small pictures on their very old Nokia phones.
I'm gonna somehow learn Russian and say, I will shoot you all if you don't run away.
What you manage to end up saying is that you will smell their roses if they don't fly. They get equally as disturbed by this and move on, fearing that they're a crazy man.
Okay. Alright, so I'm just gonna say, hey, Syrup Man, is this gonna take long? Because we do need to go.
You look down, and for some reason, you're hearing even more screaming, and you notice that for some reason, Syrup Man is eating a hole straight through this living pancake.
I suppose I should maybe help. I'm gonna go...
With what?
I'm gonna go ahead and...
What? You don't even know what he's doing.
I'm gonna go ahead and chainsaw Syrup Man.
Okay. So you pull your chainsaw out of the magic satchel and just decide to chainsaw him?
Yeah, and not to kill him or hurt him or anything, just to get his attention.
Okay. Let's see how this works. If it works how I think it will. Oh, it worked exactly like I thought it would. You managed to get your chainsaw out and try and grind off a section of Syrup Man's syrup in order to get his attention or something at the very least. What happens is, clearly, as the chainsaw is trying to tear through the syrup, this isn't just any normal syrup we're talking about here. This is Syrup Man's syrup. As the chainsaw grinds its way into the sticky mass, the chain suddenly jerks forward, pulling you straight off your feet and onto the now completely syruped pancake. And you're now stuck face forward down with a face full of pancake and syrup, completely unable to move.
God damn it.
You rolled a 2, by the way. Be glad it wasn't a 1.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a portal to where death is again and say, to where death is, yeah.
Okay, let's see if you manage to pull off this bit of syrupy goodness. So you don't manage to exactly tear a portal through to Death's dimension. All you can really do is wiggle your fingers a little bit, and you can't exactly tear anything. So all that Death gets is, for some reason, he's still on the toilet. All he gets is a glory hole in the wall of his apartment. Through to your dimension. And all he can see through it is a pancake, syrup, and some very strange screaming noises, and your fingers. That's all he can see.
Am I able to say, help me?
With a mouthful of syrup and pancake, you try to scream something out. All you can hear is from the other side of the portal. What the hell? You hear from Death on the other side. Your fingers suddenly get stuck to the side of the pancake, though, and the portal closes.
Fuck. Okay.
You hear Syrup Man slurp his head over to where it's facing your direction as he pulls himself away from the pancake. What are you... Slurp? He looks back down at the pancake. You're cheating on me with him? You hear more screaming coming from the pancake, apparently in agony or pleasure, you're not exactly sure. I wasn't expecting you to be that kind of pancake. Wow, they don't make pancakes like they used to. I guess I'll just take pancakes like they normally are then. Not living. I thought we could be something. He slurps himself and all of his syrup up from the pancake, which is sitting there with a very large bite hole through the middle of it, and you're able to get yourself unstuck again.
Okay. I then say in pancake to first I spit out the pancake. That the bit of pancake.
You didn't really get any other than a mouthful of syrup. You didn't really get a mouthful of pancake.
Okay, so I spit out. Okay, so I know how long I have syrup in me.
Yeah.
All right, so I say to Pancake Girl. So you want to go on an adventure?
You hear pancake-like whimpering coming from the thing as it's lying on the ground. You're not exactly sure what this means, but it slowly starts to pancake off the ground.
I assume that's a yes. So I'm guessing we're going to California. So what do you call it? I spawn a plane and get in it.
Okay. So where the hell did you get a plane from?
I'm Fred.
Okay. A nice Boeing 747 airliner suddenly makes an emergency parking on the nearby Russian street, just, for plot convenience. As it appears to crash through all the buildings in its path, it doesn't have any wings, but that doesn't matter. As it suddenly lifts off up into the air, sprinkling a magical fairy tune, as you sing along to this, what sounds like a very low-budget, like Barbie song that you'd find in a Barbie movie at the bottom of the $5 bin in Walmart for, as you sprinkle...
And it was at this moment when I realized that I accidentally pressed the pause button. So, audience of people who are probably never going to watch this, Basically, what happened when Zorinthian rudely got cut off was the plane. We got in the plane. All of us got in the plane. It crash landed in California. I peed on a police officer, and that's basically it. So
from that point onward, all you really need to know is that we're now in California. We're Fred and entourage of Pancake Girl and Syrup Man. Why does it sound like a really bad kid's book? But it's really not for kids. We just witnessed a man made in syrup and a pancake have sex, maybe? I don't know.
yes.
If this ever turns into a kid's book, I will be scared out of my mind for the state of our society. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, because
So you manage to find, as you're walking down the California streets, you manage to find a road to the a map to the stars. Basically, one of those little those maps that they sell in California that points you in the direction of celebrities' houses, so you can just kind of look at them and be like, "Hey, I know who lives there."
Yeah.
So you manage to find, for some reason, there's this weird little speck in the corner of the map that, of course, is none other than Weird Al. And of course, since this is in an alternate dimension in which Fred exists, I have no idea where Weird Al lives right now. So we're just going to say, for that sake, he's in California at this point in time. So you find out where his house is. What's the game plan?
I'm just gonna say, all right, guys, to Pancake Girl and Syrup Man, we're gonna go see Weird Al Yankovic because penis, and then I just start walking.
They're just going to drop it on Weird Al, huh?
Yep.
Alright. So you end up approaching his house, or at least where it is. It takes a good hour to walk to that location, but that's what you end up doing. It's not too far, and it's good to see the sights along the way anyway. Some people give you you end up buying some cotton candy along the way, and they look very strangely at all of you. A few people do end up running and screaming, but all in all, from California, the land of fruit and nuts, it's really not that surprising to see an entourage like yours walking down the street. Sadly. That's just the state of our society today.
I mean, it's California. What can you expect?
Yeah. So you approach Weird Al's house. This very strange locale appears to have all the eccentricity that Weird Al does in person.
Yes.
So you knock on the front gate. There's no answer. It doesn't appear to be very well guarded or anything. It doesn't appear like there's much home security involved here. And as you go past a large amount of pink flamingos that are stuck in his front yard, now you know those lawn decoration ones, you knock on the front door. No response. So Syrup Man walks up to the door. "Give this to me," he says. Sticks himself directly to the front door, and then falls over backwards, peeling the door off its hinges. He then squelches out from underneath the door and stands up on top of it. "Well, you going in or not?" Before you can answer, you see the other door swing wide open, and a spotlight shines on both of you. All you can see ahead of you is a silhouette of a man sitting in a chair, with his fingertips pressed together, one leg crossed over the other dramatically. "I was wondering when you'd show up." None other than Weird Al himself. It appears he's been expecting you. Alright, so here we are, this dramatic standoff with Weird Al Yankovic. Who knew that your quest for the Elder Pancake would lead you to Weird Al's front door? So,
It was bound
meanwhile,
to happen.
Meanwhile, in Russia, you end up seeing a lot of police officers gathered outside a very lackadaisical little Russian town, somewhere in Moscow, that ends up having some sort of murder investigation associated with it, as a grandma that looks like Russian Swiss cheese is carried out on a stretcher, and it's found out that she's been hiding and stockpiling weapons for over 40 years inside of her house.
Huh.
Okay, that explains the mattress then.
Yes.
As they try and move the mattress, though, a small explosion goes off and kills about half the population of that town. Anyway, so time's up already. I hope you enjoyed this video. I believe we enjoyed making it. Didn't you, Mr. Duck? I'll take that as a yes. So, as always, until video number next, stay cool and classy, peeps.